know. Mega doesn't sound like he has that energy, man. What's going on?
He'll get it. He'll get it. Here we are, and we're live. Here we are, and we got that on air, Xbot. So you're like, I don't think K Mega's gonna have that energy, but we'll see, man. We got some good topics to talk about.
Shit on Twitter, people are gonna be like, yo, K Mega, what's going on? What are they doing? Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time, and it's you know what, it's Halloween. That's always a cool time to come out and do these shows because, you know, a lot of people are in kind of a spirit to go, you know, go crazy or whatever. You know, I've kicked back a few drinks. Mooch, have you been kicking back a few drinks? Are you?
Well, I just started. So, we're past the candy. Now we're moving on to the adult beverages. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm
it's
with
Halloween.
you. Today, I am with you as tomorrow is an off day for me. Yes.
Not an off day for me, but still got to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You're out there, you're eating the candy. You need something to wash that down. So why not a few adult beverages?
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's exactly what the idea is. Welcome to the show, man. I'm glad you're here on time and things like that. I wasn't sure you were going to make it on time, but here you are.
Neither was I. I wasn't sure myself. You know, Halloween is not what it was. I think when all of us in the panel when we were younger, Halloween was just a different scenario. We used to go out at 6 o'clock. And you come back 9, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know if it was like a night event. It was a day event. And now it's just become, it's kind of like you go through the course. You know what I mean? It's like first course, second course, done. And everybody just leaves. So I don't know. I got to say, everything kind of ended abruptly. It was done by about 8 o'clock for the kids and everything. And so like, all right, you know what? Let's podcast. Let's do this.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Right? There's a lot to talk about, Crap.
There is. And
I think today's generation of kids, they fill up a bucket and they go, shit, let's screw this. I want to go home and play some Fortnite.
We used to run home, unload that first bucket, and go back out for a second one. Maybe a third.
What do you mean? They got the Switches out. They're out there playing Switch. And
you're talking about the rooftop parties?
That one.
Hey, well, what they're doing is while they're walking, they're playing the Fortnite on the phone. The Fortnites.
Yep. The Fortnites.
Yeah, I heard someone call it that. They're like, "Are you playing the Fortnites?" Yeah, I'm playing the Fortnite. Not me though. I don't play that stuff. But hey, we got Lady Foxfire here, and I heard is dressing up as Bowsette for Halloween. So how'd that work out for you?
Oh no, not like this.
No.
I'm AC Bongro's cardboard cutout. That's what I am.
Oh,
really
my
scary.
gosh, that's horrible. Don't do
that was the scariest costume in the block, guys.
that is bad. That is terrible. Oh my gosh. But hey, you're here. Welcome. It's Halloween.
Happy Halloween. What's up, everybody in the chat? No weirdos this week. Thank you. Okay, let's get started.
Hey, we got Aimbot 4492. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, brother? I realized something about your channel. First off, huge shout out to the chat as always, guys. Look at this lineup right here. You can see it on your screen. That right there is worth triple the thumbs up that we have right now. That's all I'm saying right there, man. So. But I realized that there's one game I can't talk about on your channel. I've come to this realization, kind of like this acceptance that I will not be talking about Destiny 2 here, man. I figured out that I just can't do it here.
Thank you, Lord.
Hey, we talked about Destiny last week a little bit. Yeah, it was, we
lost like 15 people watching.
I know. Nobody. I'm not sure the fan base is into the whole Destiny thing, but
I think you only lost them because they went out and bought it and started playing it.
Oh no!
They want that kitty cat ghost. That's what happened.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, Mooch. I think they fell asleep or something. So, and then we needed you to yell so you could wake them up, and that has to happen.
That's going to happen tonight.
Exactly. Is Bot our permanent guest? Is he like always here now? This is cool.
Well, he's like, just invite me on.
We invited him, and he can't leave now. That he won't leave.
Fox, I'm trying. Okay, every time he said, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Nation Wednesday."
Nice. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
It is. It's tough to get people sometimes. I reached out to a few people today as well, and tough to get. So I'm definitely glad he's here.
Yeah,
we also got back after a while. We got K Mega here, the Rams fan. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Rams! That absolutely, man. It feels good to be back to being a Rams fan as usual. I've been a Rams fan forever, but
back.
because people they don't know if I'm a football if I like football because the Rams have been so bad for like 13, 14 years. So, but it's good to see my Rams are back. But yeah, man, glad to be here again as usual. It seems like I can't avoid XBot. I can't do anything. He's everywhere. So, I mean, I'm saying he's on the next podcast. Hell, he's been on GRG. I don't know what the hell. You know what I'm saying? Him and the Don, I just can't avoid it. But anyway, no, man, always glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? Here with Mooch, Lady Foxfire. You know what I'm saying? Me and Noof. We haven't done anything in a long time. So it's always good.
Yes,
also, I was, my kids are older. So, of course, you know, there's no trick-or-treating or anything, but I did dress up as hashtag Save Lock at work. And,
oh, hell yeah.
and so tonight I have on my Atriox outfit. So let's get to it.
Nice.
Baby. We're doing it.
Yeah, we are. And rounding out the panel tonight, we've got Boom Boom Kaboom Noof Nukem in the room. He does a one-man podcast too. It's Noof Nukem. What's going on, man?
The chat's doing tricks. The panels have got the treats. Hang on to your pants. This show is going to be sweet. Yes, indeed. Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's always a good time. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Let's get this show on the road. All right. It's good topics for the night and a great panel. Glad everybody could be here. So, and I'm always happy to be here. Crap. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, no problem. Actually, you know what? Foxy was the one that suggested you. She's like, you should shoot Noof an invite. And I was like, you know what? I forgot all about it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yay!
So, yeah.
I give some props. What's up? I miss Noof so much. We used to do House Corner all the time, and I'm like, I need some of those jokes right now. What's happening?
I had the day off too, so it's just I could make it on time, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. He used to be on this show too, man. But I understand life happens, man. You start working and stuff like that, and it's tough. But I appreciate you guys being able to make it here tonight. It's awesome. So I want to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. A little bit. It was $725 million over the first few days. Man, that's an absolutely incredible number.
Sounds like a crunch to me, man. Like,
yeah, it's a
crunch right there. Yeah,
it's a crunch. All right. I mean, listen, this game is absolutely incredible. It's everything everybody said it would be, and then some. Although me and Mooch always have this joke about it, right? Because I did this thing yesterday. There's this one mission where you and this guy go out and you're looking for this other guy who's been locked up, and you get totally drunk, right? And they're like, he's like, yeah, we'll have a couple drinks. And then it's like, it plays out like a sitcom or something. It's like, it shows them just totally just like downing drink after drink, and they're drunk, and you can barely walk, and you're puking all over the place. And it's so funny. And they really just kind of nailed that aspect about it.
They did.
But the missions, oh my Lord, the missions in this game just seem like everything you do takes hours, right? Yeah. Oh, this sounds like it'll be easy. Go do this. 2.5 hours later, you're done. You know what I mean? 0.1% of the game done. You know what I mean? Like this game, realistically, and I know like I might not be far enough into it like some of you guys, but I heard there's fast travel, but I don't know if I've unlocked it yet. I haven't seen anything that lets me fast travel yet. But you literally have to ride your horse everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. You could do the cinematic thing, but I had this problem where sometimes I did that and my horse would run into stuff occasionally, and like yeah, well, I saw that. I haven't run into a train, but mine like threw me off because it fell like kind of down like a ravine or something. But yeah, the game is great. The only problem that I think is it has maybe too much content, and everything just seems like it takes so much damn time.
It's not the content, I think, because I played through the first Red Dead. You can get through this. It's not like The Witcher. The issue that I'm having, if you want to call it an issue, and it's a me problem, because as you can see, the internet is in love with it, is the game is extremely slow paced. And some people say, well, that's just the nature of the game, and it is. So the problem I have is you get to your camp, and when you're there, you can't walk fast at all. You can hold down A, you can push A 1,000,000 times. You barely walk any faster. The conversations are kind of blah at this point because you're just picking up a mission, and the missions are great. But then you're also like, there's 1,000,000 little icons in your camp, right? Yeah. And I'm going to them like over and over again. There's the stew pot, and then there's like you go over and you talk to Dutch, then you go over and you talk to the guy, and it's like it for me, it seems like a lot of wasted time. And then you go do the mission, and they're like, come on, we're going to go kill a bear. Come with me. You're not doing anything. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. My map is full of things to do. What do you mean I'm not doing anything? So then you get going, you go through this thing, and you go all the way out there, and you're riding with that old fella, and you get out there, and it's just this like 10-minute talk about, it's interesting to a certain degree, but, the 75th time you're on your horse, and you're taking these trips to these long, it's almost like being in the car with a true uncle or a true grandparent. It's not that you don't want to hear about your family history, but you're like, I got it. I get it. We've talked about this. So you go all the way out there, you set that bear trap, or, you use the different herbs or whatever to create that whatever it is, that bait. And then he's like, do you want to stay and kill the bear? Or you want to come back? And I'm like, well, I guess I'll go back. Let's go, hunk.
Hey, I
get back in the car.
I stayed, but that bear tore me up. I had my own Revenant moment, man. It was like, roar, and I was like, whoa, and then I couldn't run away. And
the game is great. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I just myself personally, I told this to Crap. I play the game now in about hour and a half increments, which is usually about a mission or two. And then maybe a side quest. I do like 2 missions or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, I need something more fast paced. I'll switch over to Call of Duty, and believe it or not, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but I'm just going to bring it up. I'm going back. I'm going head first back into Destiny 2.
There you go.
I'm going back because
come on back, brother.
Yeah, I need something a little faster paced. I need something a little more faster paced. Red Dead's great, but Red Dead's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Listen, the Mooch is not an artistic person. I don't come home and paint. I don't do Bob Ross paintings. But like, if I was a painter, if I was a painter, I'd come home and be like, you know what this canvas needs? I need a little bit more cloud over here. Let me put a little more cloud. And then I put it down, step back, and be like, you know what? I'll come back to this painting tomorrow. That's Red Dead for me. I'm going to come home and paint just a little bit of it each day, and then step back and take a look at it. Because to be honest with you, I just don't see how people are putting. I know some people are like, oh yeah, 12, 14 hours. I haven't slept since last Friday. I'm like, what is it? Like, is your life? How do you move that slow? It's such a slow paced game. Well, I'm interested in what you guys say.
Mooch, Crap. Here's the deal. One of my subscribers, because I did my first impressions video, and he put in the comment section that you have to donate $500 to your camp, upgrade your tent and Dutch's tent, and then you can fast travel to any town that you have been in. So you still got to do the trip to the town, but once you get there, there's a map that's on your tent, and you can just instantly fast travel. Maybe when you get that, maybe it'll kind of like speed up the pace a little more.
You have to buy, and I haven't done it yet myself, but from what I've seen and read, you have to buy something to upgrade your camp. Once you upgrade your camp with that, whatever that is, then you can actually fast travel to certain areas, not everywhere, but certain areas. And
live that life, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, I'm interested to hear what Kay's got to say. I really want to hear what Foxy and Noof got to say. Like, I just myself personally, the game is definitely quality. It was worth every penny. I don't, you know what I mean? I think it's worth $60. You're going to get what? 60 hours is almost comical. Yeah. I almost started laughing. I'm almost at 60 hours now, and I think I'm at 11%. I mean, the game just warrants your time. And if you're willing to put in that kind of time, then this is the game for you. If you need something that's high action, just unbelievably coming at you, speed, this game's not for you. And that's the thing. It's like, if you want that cinematic feel, the game was made in that cinematic feel.
Yeah, because you press the select button or whatever they call it now.
No, I don't even mean that. I mean, you don't need to press the select button. All you got to do is push up on the left analog stick, and it's cinematic.
Oh, yeah, dude, I hear you, man. I like I said, I'm enjoying the hell out of the game, but I could never play that game just like straight through, you know what I mean? And only that game. Like, I get why, like, I can understand if people like to do that, but for me personally, I have to, like, I've been hopping back on Blops 4, doing some other gaming as well, just because it's one of those things where you'll get burnt out a little bit on it, you know what I mean? And so that's basically the way I've been doing it anyway. I know not everybody does it the same way, but for me personally, that's kind of how I did it. And I think it's a lot of fun. They're definitely onto something with that game. You know what I mean? It's something special, that's for sure. I'm not sure that I'll ever finish it. It seems like that game might take, 200 hours to beat. Yeah, I mean that's a long time. That's a long time. Xbot, you were a big person that was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in this game.
By the way, I was waiting.
Yeah. So why don't you tell the people what you think of the game now, my friend?
Well, so far, I gotta say, I haven't done a lot of missions. I do love kind of like the attention to detail. I did that kind of like drunken mission.
Yeah, that's hilarious, wasn't it?
Dude, I love when you mistake some stranger for your friend and you walk up to him. You're like, hey, what's going on there? And, hey, Lenny. And it's not Lenny. You're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Because everybody's got Lenny's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's so drunk. Yeah, I love that part. I also, like I said, he's like, yeah, we'll just have a couple of drinks. And then he's like, yeah, you end up in jail. So it's like... Yeah, it's kind of like one of those movies or whatever, but yeah, I love that.
Lenny paid to get us out too, so huge shout out to Lenny for that one.
$10.
Are you guys a little perturbed with the whole after you finish a mission? You know how you can get gold, silver, or bronze? Like, and maybe I'm missing something. So if I am, please tell me. But can you see what the actual the objectives are before you start or during the mission? Because like at the end, it's like, you didn't get back from the Lenny mission in 1 minute and 10 seconds, so we gave you silver. I'm like, what? Get the fuck out of here! What?
Yeah, you know what? That did happen to me too, and I'm not sure if you did it. It was like you didn't meet any of the things. Like I did none of it. It's like, don't take a health thing, don't do this, don't do that, and I had none of them checked off. I was like, damn, I'm bad.
I'm getting bronze on some of them, and I'm like, well, I would have aimed to do some of these things if I'd seen them ahead of time. You're showing me at the end. Like, what do you want me to do? Do the mission over again? Get the hell out of here. This thing would take an eternity to finish.
Yeah, exactly. You could always play the mission again, Mooch.
Sure, I could. Sure. And I could also Billy Madison my ass and go back through high school again, but I'm not. Come on now.
They're just trying to make sure you're playing that one game until Scarlet comes out. Let's be honest. That's why they did it that way. They put so much content in there. But no, I gotta say, like, I've had fun in the game when I'm playing it. There's an interest to go back and to play it again. But I got to say, because of, everything with the Cowboy situation with me, I don't wake up in the morning like, damn, I can't wait to play Red Dead Redemption. But when I do power up my Xbox and I'll go in and I'll play a certain game that I said I would not name on this show, after I get a couple things done in that game, then I'll go over to Red Dead and I'll mess around there for a while. I really like the hunting. That's one of the things that really kind of stands out to me. How you can have your kind of like portable camp, and you have it on your horse, and you could just go out there and you can start tracking down animals and hunting them, laying down traps, stuff like that. I think that's really cool. That's something I'm really into. I might just get lost kind of in the wilderness, become kind of like one of those hillbillies that are up in the mountains, and just I'm gonna live off like rabbits and deer throughout that whole game. I'm not even gonna complete it yet.
Wait, Philly Diddley, did you see my relatives up in the hills there?
Served it up, man. I served it up.
He's got hillbillies too, man. Noof, what did you think? I mean, you're playing the game. What do you think about it?
It's incredible, but I'm like Mooch. I'm kind of taking this one in sort of doses. You know what I mean? It's a great game, but like I don't want to kill it. I don't want to just go through it. Like the game is, to me, I don't know, just one of those games I just can't sit there and play for hours and hours and hours. You know what I mean? Like I don't find it as intriguing in ways I did to play, say, Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's a much better game in other ways as well. I mean, the attention to detail is off the charts. These guys put their heart and soul into the game, and it shows. When you got a big team, a great budget, and you take your time, this is the fruits of that labor. You know what I mean? So I definitely game warrants the sales. Everybody that I know of seems to be enjoying the hell out of it. I love that you got some serious missions, you got some sort of fluffy missions, but at the same time they don't feel repetitive as they have in a lot of other open world games, at least not to me anyway. So yeah, I think the game is fantastic. I know that mission you were talking about when you got to go get Lenny, is it? It was hilarious. You find him in up in the hotel and he's getting his rocks off with the hooker. It's just fantastic. I mean, and the stuff that the horses do, like how they react to a snake or a wolf, and they can buck you off, and all that sort of stuff. Like there's all these little intricacies throughout that entire game. How your dude's beard starts to grow after a couple of days, and you shave it off, and like it's just little cool things like that that just make it feel like a really lived-in world. And if there was one complaint about the old Red Dead, is it just felt very void. It felt lifeless at times. But this game definitely remedies that without obviously making it seem overwhelming. But yeah, the towns are bustling, and you got to be careful, man. You can make one bad mistake and the bounties are just chasing you like dogs. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, the one thing that Noof said that I want to add on is he says, this one, the world is more life, life happening and lifelike. And I agree with him. I completely agree with him. But sometimes some odd things happen, and this happened in the original one too, but it happens more in this world because there's so much more going on. Is you're just riding, and then all of a sudden, like 5 or 6 like desperados come out, and they're and you're like, and I'm like, I got a pistol and a scared horse, and my hat goes flying off, and I'm like, I don't know, there's no rock to hide behind, and you just die. And it's like sometimes I feel like the game is just a little it misses the mark in a couple of. Like I said, I actually got done with the who do you go save from when they're being captured?
Micah? Is that Micah?
Micah.
Yeah.
So you go up and you save. No, excuse me. Was it Javier? I can't remember. It was one of the guys we went to go save. And you go and you save them, and you're coming back, and you notice your map is all red, and the red areas are where you're wanted, or where there's a bounty. But they highlight the entire water. So if like a river or whatever it is, it's all you have to go across it. So as you're going across it, you're in the red, you're just getting shot at like crazy. And I'm like, where am I supposed to go? You didn't get, I feel like I feel like the kid from freaking what is it called there? Super Troopers. When he's like, pull over further, he's like, I can't pull over any further. I'm as far as I can go. And I'm like, there's nowhere to go, man. I'm as far as I can go. I don't know where you want me to go. So like the whole thing I don't get about it is like there's just certain times where the game just like again, it doesn't really. You don't get penalized for it too bad, like $10 or $12 or whatever. But like you die sometimes just randomly, and it's like for a game that has that kind of detail and that kind of effort into it, I'm shocked that kind of exists. I think everyone, even if you don't agree with me, this has happened to you because I see all the clips on Twitter.
Mooch, Arthur loses his hat more than our wives lose their patience.
I can't even find the hat most of the time, right? Like I have to go back
on your horse.
How? Where is it on the horse? It says that, but I can't find it anywhere.
When you get on the horse, you go to you hit LB, and then you go over. You hit RB. You go over to horse items or whatever it is, and then you go down the say 5 o'clock on the wheel. And it's in there on the saddle. You can get your hat back.
I'll have to look.
I bought a new hat because I couldn't find mine.
Exactly, X-Bot. I have like 3 hats, 3 or 4 hats, and they just disappear. In fact, it gets so bad after I go shoot them up, I go and just pick up random hats off the ground and put them on because I'm like, I can't find mine. So I guess I'll just.
All your hats are on the horse. They're all in your saddle bag.
Guys,
there.
I gotta say when it comes down to fighting. Actual like throwing punches and stuff like that bar fight got me. I was like, dude, I put down the controller afterwards. I walked away from the TV. I was like, yo, that was absolutely amazing when he like throws you out of the window of the saloon and then you got the huge dude that you're fighting. I'm like, oh my goodness, the actual like fist fighting is really good. I get into that, man. That's a good part of the game.
Yeah, it is cool. K Mega, what do you think about this game, man? Are you into the game?
Oh man, I'm already probably about. I just checked right there while everybody was talking, and I'm like 37 hours into the
controller right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I got the controller in my hand right now. I'm ready to jump back in, but it's I got about 37 hours into it. I'm like 27% done with the game. I'm a big huge fan of the Witcher. And so like, in The Witcher, I put in around over 380 some hours into that.
Damn.
I love the dedication to detail that they put into it. The same things about what you were talking about with the whole the medal system. I'm like, I don't know why they don't give you an opportunity to do it. I guess they want you to redo it, but I'm kind of like with Mooch, and I'm like, I'm not going back to do that shit. It's not even that serious. But it's just that. Just everything that they put into the game, into what you want to do and what you find exciting about it. Like I'm like Bot, I love to hunt. I'm going out there and I'm just getting pelts and looking for rabbits and just trying to get little different things there. I mean, going out and there's some people that's like to treasure hunt. I mean, I think I've went and got bathed like 5 times because I go ahead and pay that 50 extra cents so old girl can watch me down. I
told you guys on BGST that, and everybody's like, I don't know, crap. I ain't never done that.
So I was like, hey man, just got to do it, man. Just the facts. It's Rockstar. But no, the missions are really dope. That's what makes me enjoy it, just like I did the first one. But it is a fact. Like the first one, it's a beautiful scenery just to walk around to, but it doesn't have the level of detail about the whole living area around that surrounded you. In this one, it's just like there's something to do everywhere you go. And then when you just go off the trail, because I do that a lot, and I just run into random people. Like there was this random chick, I just walked in her house and it was at nighttime, and I thought she was gonna pull out a gun, and she was like, well, just put the stuff back in the back. What are you talking about? So then I go in the back, and then I drop it in the cellar, and then I see I could just start stealing shit. So I just start stealing all types of stuff and walk out. And it's like there's just so much stuff into the game that has so much detail to it that I just love. And like I said, I just can't stop playing it. I mean, it's made me put down Forza. So that's saying a lot.
Okay, here's my question for you. So, and I'm glad that you said I appreciate The Witcher. But I feel like The Witcher was even a faster paced game than this.
Yeah, the very beginning, yeah. Like, I mean, once you got past the part where you went on Novigrad, I think that was where you fight the Griffin. That's when everything starts picking up. Yes, to start picking up wherever you want to go.
You can move Gerald faster. You're faster on the horse. There's there's all the hitching posts, or not the hitching posts, but the fast travel locations are everywhere in The Witcher. It's just I just feel like this game, don't get me wrong, it's not a knock on it at all. The game is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I think what they want you to do is to be appreciative of the work that they put into this world, because it's immersed. There's places that I haven't even gone to yet. I was just showing my old lady that today. Like, I was just like, what? I said, I haven't even gone. I'm like, I've been in Valentine, I'm in Sweet Gum, I'm in all these other places, and I'm like, whoa, there's still all of this going on. I mean, it's and then just the extra little stuff that's going on. Like, I did my favorite side mission was going out and seeing Black Belle. And that's a little story where you meet this guy at Valentine, and where he tells you he wants to take portraits of these known gunslingers.
In the book, yeah.
He wants to write a book, and you run into Black Belle, and then you fight all of these guys, and she's got everything wired, and you're kind of like in the swamps, and so I take care of that, and then and then I go out, and then and this is what trips me out about this game, but it's realistic. I'm looking and I see like a Django moment where a dude has got a slave, and I'm like, what the hell? And so of course I got to kill the white dude. Fuck that. So I sit there, So you know what I'm saying? So but then, like, I see pictures on Twitter and things like that where they got the clan in there, they got all of these other aspects to it. I'm like, what is going? It's like that type of detail. Yeah. And putting all those things into the game is just absolutely it's what it's all worth. That's why I don't mind just riding around and just finding random stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something about it, right? Like, I've never seen like the NPCs in a game have such a they went all out with that. You know what I mean?
Life.
Like,
they have life.
They have life. Yes.
There's more to them than just that, like, walking with their like arms like up by their chest, and then they hit like a block, and then they turn around, walk around the other way. Like, they are alive. They play a role in your path forward through the game. But like, Kay, you just said you put down Forza to go to this game. So my question for you is like, man, there's no faster game that comes to mind than Forza.
Right.
So to go from Forza to this is extremely it's just a huge change. Like, do you feel like sometimes you got to like put down Red Dead and either go back to Forza or go back to another game you were playing that was a little bit of a faster pace, or have you been strictly on Red Dead since?
Well, I at the beginning, where you guys are kind of at, I was exactly where you were. Like, okay, this game seems very like so overwhelming. I don't know if I got the temperament to deal with this, so I'm going back on Forza. But then once I got to a certain point in the game that that just start opening up all these other missions.
Did you get the fast travel part yet, Kay?
Yes, I do have the fast travel.
Well, I don't know if anybody. I don't care. I've read it before. Do you mind telling like what is it you have to purchase at the camp that allows it?
It's like what Xbox
said. It's an upgrade.
You have to go to the contribution.
Yep.
And then there's this other book. I can't remember what the book is.
The book next to it. Yep.
Yeah, the book next to it. You go in there, and then you start buying different stuff for your camp. Which also the happier your camp is, the better the more missions that you get throughout the game. And then once you hit over because there was a time that I had like maybe $14,000. I'm sorry, not $14,000, but $1,400. And I went ahead and I just
good Lord, that's a lot of money back then.
It sure is a lot of money. But I mean, I was doing a lot of dirt. So it was like, and I was also doing bounty hunters. I love the bounty hunters aspect to it. The one chick that was doing all that. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But you go there, you start buying stuff. And then when you fix up your tent or the ammo area, you start putting all the ammo, stock it all the way up. You get an achievement, and then also it gives you the option for a map. And if you've gone to these, where the mail rooms are, where you can pay for your bounties and stuff.
Yes,
I don't know if
the post office.
That's where for every place that you've been there, that's where you can fast travel.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
That is interesting. What about you, Foxy? Are you? I know you're.
I was about to jump in. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's really interesting listening to you guys talking about it, saying all these details. Obviously, you're enjoying it. Even if you're not speed running through it like everyone else, you're still enjoying it when you do play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game looks beautiful. I just don't care for westerns, cowboys, and all that jazz.
Uh-oh.
I seen some funny clips of people getting kicked with the horse and stuff. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm just happy that whoever got the game, love it, and it's like better than what they thought it was going to be anyway. So that's really good.
Well, sometimes you're just walking along on your horse, and your horse will like crap too, which is kind of funny.
What the?
I know. Like, have you ever seen that?
Too detailed.
I know, right? Like, there's that GIF on Twitter where the rhino does that. It's just like that, but it's your horse.
Crappy. You shared that in my threads before, sir.
Hey,
you nasty.
There's much worse ones that I could have shared. Hey, we almost have fun to watch and hit the like button, you guys. Do it. It's Halloween. Come on.
When you guys are talking about keeping, what was it that you guys were saying that you keep those people happy?
The people in your camp.
Your camp.
Yeah, your camp. That is it like State of Decay, or is not like that at all?
Well,
no, because when you leave and they're happy, they don't go, oh, I accidentally pissed in the vegetable fucking container and we're out of fucking vegetables again. You know what I mean? Oops, I dropped all the ammo down the toilet and flushed it.
Hey, the bread got moldy because I dropped the gunpowder in it. You just lost 3 foodstuffs. Yeah, like that was so annoying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's just like it's almost like it is like a weird kind of family. And what's funny to me is like I don't know like who grew up watching like some of the Western stuff, but Tombstone is one of my all-time favorite movies. And it's like like Unforgiven as well. And you see all this stuff happening, like the train heist, and you're on a train and you're trying to stop. Like to me, that's all just like cool stuff. It's like fantasy stuff, It's like it's just like realistically some of the coolest stuff that they've ever come up with.
Crap, I agree with you, and I kind of want to add to that. So I agree. The train heist, the bank heist, breaking guys out of jail. One of your buddies got confiscated by the Pinkertons or something. You go and get them. That stuff is so amazing. That's what makes Red Dead alive. Here's a me problem, and I know. And shout out to Jez is awesome. Jez is going to be on Crossfire soon, and I'll be honest with you, Jez is one of the guys that's like, I love to go fishing, and there's other people like I like to go hunting.
Poker.
I don't like that. I don't like other one of the achievements is like catch 185 rabbits. No. I don't want to do that. Hey, like when I went with the guy and I successfully baited the bear, and when he came, I dead-eyed that son of a bitch. I wrecked him. He got wrecked. And then he's like, hey, you want to go out there and go after the bear again? I was like, nope, we're good. I'm going to go back to town and actually do a real mission. I don't feel like sitting out here and eating, chewing on a twig and waiting for a pigeon to fly by.
All you had to do was walk forward a few steps, and you would have been at the bear again, man.
I'll be honest with you, Xbot. Absolutely zero fucks given. I don't really care. I don't get the whole thing with the hunting and the fishing. Like if I want that, I'll go get bass something.
It helps you increase all of your for your carrying items. weapons, things like that. I mean,
So,
it is
let
a
me ask
benefit.
you. So, Kay, let me ask you. So, I've gotten a bunch of the cougars. I've gotten the foxes or whatever it is. I got the deers. I've done some of it. While
We got the cougars, man. We all know that.
absolutely. How many
Cougars
cougars
are the
are
best.
Watch out. Yeah.
Cougars are the best.
Watch out for the cougars, man. Watch
no,
out.
realistically,
Well, I gotta love cougars.
watch him.
Hey,
-8.
a cougar for us though is like someone in the 60s. So.
No, the cougar number stays the same. Crap.
No, how can
stays
it, man?
the
As we get
same.
older, aren't they got to be older too, right?
No.
Hey, well, I mean,
No, it's a
regardless.
category.
Yeah, regardless.
Krabby, why are you trying to ruin it? How dare you?
Thanks. Jeez, crap.
Sorry, I was just
Like
picturing
a musty and
Frosty.
dusty, huh?
Dude, I didn't say me personally, dude.
No, chill,
Not me
chill.
personally. Not me.
No, but so here's the thing, though, Kay. To get back to your point, you're 110% right. So I go and I say, you take care of this, you whatever it is, you skin the deer or whatever, and then I'm like, they're like, you go to the horse and it's like, horse is full, and I'm like, well, I ain't walking back 65 miles with this thing. So it's like, where do you store them?
That's what you have to.
Right.
That's the only way.
I got the grizzly pelt, and I just have it on my horse. I don't know what to do with it.
Take it.
I
Now,
don't want to sell it. I want to
I've
use
got
it.
like 5 pelts on my whatever. I got 5 layers of like fox and deer and stuff on the back of my horse.
Now, the only thing that I've been doing with the pelts, and I was with you, Bot, because I killed that bear. I showed that on Twitter where that bear just jumped out of nowhere. Matter of fact, the bear scene that I posted on there. We was doing next podcast, and I remember I was like, "Oh shit, what is going on?" Because I had the volume off, and then it just jumped out of nowhere. But I took the pelt, and I didn't know what to do with it, and so I placed it out there on the camp, not knowing what to do with it, and then I lost it. So yeah, I mean, the only thing that I've been doing with the pelts is taking it and donating it to the guy at the place. I have not found a pelt guy yet.
Wait, what guy
with like a bear hat? Like had a bear hat on.
Wait, what guy at what place, Kay?
At the only place that I've been taking them to, yes, the guy that's at the camp. That's the cook, and I just take it there, and I'm like,
okay.
But yeah,
when you originally said that, you sounded like a Guido, like me. You're like, I took it to the guy.
Well, I mean,
my dude, my guy.
Because with the pelts, I'm totally not knowing where to go with that yet. I just been donating it.
But I want to find a place.
Yeah. So dude, I need to find a place in town.
The one time I went to the guy at the camp that cooks, dude wasn't there. I'm like, I have all this stuff I was bringing to him, and they're like, oh no, it's night. He's not here. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. Like I like had this. I didn't realize that the meat and stuff goes bad. So I was like, "Here you go." And he's like, "We can't use that."
No, you gotta cook it.
You gotta cook it, or you gotta or you gotta hurry up and bring it back to camp. I mean, that's the realism that I love about the game. For me, it's just that it tries to be as detailed as possible. And it's still a video game. Another thing is where these people that's been protesting about the long work hours. I wonder how they feel about that after they sold so many copies, because they are going to get paid for that.
Now, Kay, why do you got to get me yelling?
I
can't stand that. That's all nonsense. That is absolutely the reason we all work our asses off at our day jobs or night jobs, whatever you do, is because you want to put out the best product. Those people care about their product, and you can clearly see that they put out a AAA masterpiece. So. Bravo to every one of those people that worked and they put the hours in. And let me tell you something, they're proud of themselves right now.
Oh, as they should be. Yeah.
Yes, they should be.
There was another part about Red Dead 2 I wanted to talk about. Phil Spencer took to Twitter and was like, he retweeted the Eurogamer thing where it's like, it plays and looks best on the Xbox One X. And of course, like that's what we want to see, right? Because Mikey Barr was doing it, Major Nelson was doing, everybody was doing it. Then what we see is that we want to see that that Microsoft is kind of sticking up for themselves and doing a good job with this, right? And doing this, but he gets a lot of shit for this as well. You know, he does. He got a terrible, a lot of crap for that. Like, what is your guys' thoughts on that going forward? Like, he can't even be proud of his own stuff.
Yo, I gotta say, when it comes to Red Dead, man, there are a lot of salty gamers out there, man. When it comes to like the PlayStation and like the analysis breakdown between the X and the Pro and stuff like that, dude, the salt out there on Twitter, on Facebook has been absolutely unreal. And I gotta say, why is everybody surprised that this runs and looks better on the X. A lot of multiplats are in that same category. So I don't understand why now that, you know, Red Dead came out, why there would be any surprise that it's running that good on
I think well, first of all, your point is valid, but the thing about this game that makes it stand out, Xbot, is this is the first one where you don't really need a monocle and you don't need Digital Foundry. You could be sitting about 50 feet away and see the difference. This is the first one that really truly depicts the power of the X, and it shows it on screen, and it's showing it with a high visibility game. Okay, like Crap had brought to my attention when me and him were just bullshitting before a show. He's like, "Well, Mooch, you do have to understand that this was also the case with Far Cry 5," and he's right.
And other games too, but those games aren't as big.
They don't have the visibility that this game has. So, Xbot, that's the answer to your question. It's not that you're wrong, but this one's finally got the main stage, and it's got everybody in the media playing it because they have to. And God forbid, see. This is one of those unique situations that's a lot of fun when you actually have to watch the media. It's a lot of fun to watch the gaming media when this kind of stuff happens because they're in a corner. They're in a corner. Yes. They want to love the PS4 one. They really, really do. But at the same time,
they're out there buying the new X.
They can't. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. They're trying, but they can't. It's really fun to watch them kind of squirm when this happens.
Yeah, and also another answer to that would be PC because it's not on PC. And they have nothing to compare it with. And a lot of people are also salty about that.
Exactly.
And even people in the media, I mean, if it was on PC, they would be talking about that version more, not the Xbox version, even if it was the same.
Yep, they would have been doing the PC Xbox One X comparison instead of doing what they were supposed to do by comparing the consoles like it's supposed to be. Yeah. You know what? They've been doing that, and that's what kind of washes away the power of the X, because when you have something that's more powerful, then it makes the X looks insignificant. But when it actually is supposed to be shown as a console, because it is a console, then we actually get the truth of it. And also with the media, they have to, you know what I'm saying? I love them eating the crow because they have been forcing this power narrative from the very beginning of this generation. So now they have to stick to it, even though it's not the probably preferred platform for a lot of those guys.
Yo, Mega, I got to agree with you. Digital Foundry would be like, if this was out on PC, they'd be like, yo, this game looks absolutely phenomenal. And we only used like two 2080s for this. Like, it's beautiful.
220. That's what Mooch has.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy for
sarcastically
those guys. I'm happy for those guys sticking up for the brand and sticking up for the product, because look, it is the truth. It is a fact. You know what I mean? It's not like it's an opinion he's stating. It is a damn fact. And I guess the truth hurts, right? But I don't know why anybody is salty. I mean, first of all, it's a multi-plat game. You can play it on Xbox, you can play it on PlayStation. So who really gives a shit, right? Like, why the big hoopla? Either which way, yeah, one version is obviously a little better or a lot better, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, the game is the same. It generally plays the same. So I don't understand why so many people got their panties in a knot. And if fucking Phil is speaking the truth, it's the truth. You can't give the guy shit over it. It's stupid, but hey, that's the way it goes. There's haters around everything, and the more popular something gets, the more people just want to hate on it. And I guess Red Dead Redemption will fall into that bracket for a long time to come.
You know,
I was just go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I just want to say I want to be a problem solver here, and for all the people who are so upset about how this game runs on the X. Last time I checked, you weren't banned from any video game store, electronics store, anything like that. If you really want to experience the game that you're seeing in the analysis and everything like that on that system, you can go out and buy one. It's okay. People won't come to your house with like pitchforks and torches and get all mad. You can literally purchase an Xbox One X for yourself. You can do that.
Yeah, they ran some really good deals as well lately, where you could have traded in a basic Xbox One and got $200 towards an X, and then bought Red Dead and got another $100 off. So you could have got an X for $200, which is a really fantastic deal. There's also rumors, which kind of leads me into this next little bit, which would be that they're going to announce a price cut for the X and the S at the XO event. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Obviously the X is doing well on its own, and the S or whatever, I think they actually want the X to start outselling the S, and it sounds like that's sort of starting to happen. What's your guys' thoughts about that? Mooch, like, what do you think about that? How much do you think they need to drop the price on those?
It's a good question. We'll get to the monetary point in a second, but I think that that's why they did the whole big deal that was going on with GameStop making those incentives this past week. Like I saw that and I had to hop on it. I told everybody,
I know.
I got $250 for an S that I still had in the house. I'm not passing that up, guys. Moochonomics.
Yeah.
I tell you guys all the time.
Triple down, Nick.
Right?
Moochonomics. Yeah.
I got that S for about $250, maybe $275, and to get $250 back, crap, that's crazy. That means I used it for 2 years, and now, or whatever it was, a year, and I got a good $250 back towards the X. Now the thing about the X though, crap, is I think the reason you're saying what you're saying is Microsoft wants the X to be the lead into next generation. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that me and Crap were kind of talking about on MNC show last week was that we discussed what they're going to have different SKUs. So the Scarlet might be this big, huge powerhouse of a console, and it will be. And then you were saying, Crap, that possibly there'll be another one that's lower tiered. And here's me personally. Maybe Sony needs to do that, but Microsoft doesn't. Microsoft can come out with the Scarlet and then sell the Xbox One X for dirt cheap by then, because those parts will be even cheaper. Because the X, the reason they want that promoted in your house is that's doing 4K 30 now. It's doing 4K 60 in certain cases. Yeah. So realistically, if Scarlet comes out and it's 4K 60-er, then they're not going to have another SKU. They already have one. That SKU is called the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Right? But to get to your question and let the other panel members have a word in here is I think realistically the Xbox One X needs to be $349. And I know I'm not saying that's what's coming. That may be down the pipe, but it needs to at least be $399 with this price. It's got to come down $100. You got to get rid of that 4. The 4's got to leave because
it could be $399.
$399, $349. That thing's hot. So $399 for this Christmas, and when Scarlet's announced, you go to $349 and get everybody on Xbox in 4K, true 4K. And that's how you kind of dominate the 4K era.
Now, what I want to say when it comes to a price cut, first off, I was thinking that this was going to happen when they first announced the event, because I feel like here we are at the end of 2018. 2019, if you're going to carry any momentum through this holiday going into next year and start talking about new hardware, you're going to cut the price of the existing hardware. You know what I'm saying? To keep everything kind of like flowing business wise. So to me, it just makes sense. Mooch, I love the 350 kind of like price point. I'm not sure if they would go there, but if they did do that, that would be absolutely amazing.
They could do $399, right?
They could do $399.
I'm thinking like $100 less.
But guys, the reason I said $350, and maybe that's a little preemptive for this holiday, so I'm not going to stick to it. But I'm just telling you where the number comes from. Their competitor, I'm telling you right now, PS4 Pro is going to be $350.
Yeah, Michael
maybe
Pachter
even a little
said
lower.
That.
That's exactly what I was going to make my point on as well.
Yeah, Michael Pachter had mentioned that he believes that the Pro is going to get a price cut because, believe it or not, it still hasn't. So.
Who listens to Pachter anymore, though? Like, really?
Yeah, I get you, but I mean, look. Here's the thing: it makes sense. It makes sense that they lower the price of the Pro. It's getting handedly outclassed by the Xbox One X in pretty much every way.
Yo, crap. When it comes to Pachter, even broken watches are right twice a day. I mean,
I get it, man. I get it. I'm just saying that they're going to lower. Look, there was also, and this kind of leads into something else we'll talk to in a little bit. Those slim bundles for the PS4, the slim, they're going to be only $200.
Spider-Man one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like people were buying those on Walmart. I guess they might have leaked those a little early or whatever.
Yep.
But that's going to be a huge deal for them as well, right? Like, I mean, that's not my favorite game or anything, but a PS4 slim and Spider-Man for $200, that's basically casual market right there.
I was gonna jump on that and it disappeared. I was like, oh man.
Did they pull it back?
Yeah, they took it out.
Oh wow.
But I think they're gonna let people who got it, they're gonna let them get it. But everybody else, like they try to jump on it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's a simple black system. It's nothing special. I thought it might be red, but it's not. It's not like a custom console or anything like that. It's just a black, slim console. Really cool. I really like what you guys are saying with that 350 for both. That would be awesome. That would be smart. But I don't know about the X. I'm gonna lean towards 400 just in case. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 399 crap. Well, here's the thing. First of all, with
You
everybody
might see it
knowing this-
350 Black Friday, right?
Possibly.
Yeah,
but I
that
think
could
your
be a thing.
399 is more realistic crap. And here's the reason why it can be. I think the words hit the street now that the X is more powerful than the PS4. So Pro. So that being
It
said,
should have been on the street a long time ago.
well,
I mean,
you know, we couldn't get the Brian Altanos of the world to start talking until Red Dead came out.
I know,
so
right? Now he does, man.
now they come out.
If you guys didn't know about that, I covered it. We talked about. He's this guy that works at IGN, huge Sony dude. Although he kind of parades as just being a multi-plat. He was the guy the first time I ever saw him was at the beginning of this generation. Him and these other guys were sitting around talking about that, and he goes 1080p. It turns out it's a real thing. PS4, it's better. It's blah blah blah. Right? Like he was really pushing that narrative. And so the other day, he's like, "Man, I'm 12 hours into Red Dead 2." And then I saw, and I'm playing it on the PS4 Pro, and I saw it running on an Xbox One X, and I'm contemplating getting it on the Xbox One X because it looks that much better. And then he updated it, and later on he actually did it. And Mikey Barrow was like, "That's an easy choice." You know what I mean? You kind of like it when Mikey Barrow's just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, just going in there and doing it. And you know, like there's some dudes on the Xbox side, like the executive side, that would love to just be like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're really allowed to. Like, you just get the feeling that Greenberg and those guys would really love to do that, because Greenberg loved doing that last generation, right? Xbox 360 just won the NPD for the 157th straight time. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but he used to love doing stuff like that and saying stuff like that. So I always thought that was pretty damn hilarious. You know what I mean? So that's really cool. You know, I like what Microsoft is doing. I hope they do a price cut. If they can get down to $399, if they can get a Black Friday bundle out for $350, I think that sets them in a good spot.
Well, let me say this crap. Okay, we used to talk about this stuff earlier in the generation, but it didn't really hold water because we didn't have any evidence. But now here's the deal. Microsoft is really, really stressing. You can see with their quarterly reviews and their marketing and everything that they're going for right now. They're going for Game Pass. They're going for games as a service. They're going for people's subscriptions. They care more about active users than anything else. With that being said, it kind of comes back to the original motto when we heard Seamus Blackley talk about how the fact that, or maybe it wasn't Seamus, he was involved with it, that they were going to give Xboxes away. And the way to give you get Xboxes in the house, and then people buy the software. Well, that point has only been like triple, if not quadruple, fold since the original thought, because now everything is about, once the Xbox is in their home, they can get you on Xbox Live, they can get you on Game Pass, they can get you to do EA Access, which you might go, why would you say EA Access? It's all part of the services that are available on the Xbox for console users. My point being is that the 350 mark and matching your competitor is trying to really push you're driving the market. You're saying, listen, we are here. We may lose a little bit of money they're going to lose money on that hardware. No doubt about it. Yeah. But what they can do is they put a 30-day Game Pass in there. They got a 30-day or 14-day, whatever it is, Xbox Live Gold. Crap. At the end of the day, if casuals are going to pick up an X for $350, which matches the competitor's price, they're going to go home, and after that 30 days, they're going to make $120 a year off of that person in Game Pass, plus another $60, so $180. They'll make that money up hand over fist. And somebody at Microsoft has to be talking to somebody saying, listen, even at $350, we're probably losing $60, $70 a console. You have to look at the first year as a loss, and the second year is completely and utterly profit. So the way you have to look at it is that these guys have to start to look at the actual hardware as a lost leader. Okay, everything has a lost leader. Milk in your grocery store, vodka in your liquor store. Those are all lost leaders. There's a reason that there's a $12 squeeze bottle of 1.75 liter vodka in everybody's liquor store from sea to shining sea. That's because people go in there for that. But while they're in there, they'll buy a bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of wine, and the place makes out like a bandit. So the point of the matter is that their lost leader is that hardware. So what I would say to Microsoft, if I was ever available to give a speech, which they should get me over there, who the hell is yelling on your show, is that they should have this thing be neck and neck with their competitor and make the money where they've been stressing it, which is on their services.
You know, Mooch, I gotta say, I love what you said about Game Pass and everything like that, man. I know you look at business side of things and everything like that. I think we can look back and we can sit back and kind of look at what Xbox did. And let's be real here. When it came down to it, they were getting hammered by the media. When there are people talking about console sales and everything like that. And when you're losing a game, what do you do as a business? you change the game. You
Right.
change. And that's exactly what we're seeing here now. So for all those people who just constantly talk about MPDs and how many PS4s are out there and everything like that, I call them dinosaurs because they're not even realizing what's going on right in front of them. There is a company that's basically changing the game, and you look at what's going on with Google, Amazon, and other companies who are trying to get in here as well. They're going with that changed game mentality, and I think Sony is going to have to do the same thing as well, man.
You're seeing crap. You've said this, right? And I'll let you take the podium, but you said that EA and a bunch of other companies are all starting to talk about active users and online subscribers.
Right. No, I know that.
That's what they talk about. That's what everybody's talking about now.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing, right? So all this news comes out that Xbox One X is performing better and all this stuff. And what does Sony come out and announce? We've shipped 86 million PS4s,
up from 84 million the last time we told you.
Yes, and we're expected to pass 100 million by the end of 2019. Well, hey, cool, pin a rose on your nose. Like that's great. People, it's funny. What's funny is like people were sending this to me, like right. They're like, hey, look at this. Can you believe it? Look, what do you say to that? It's, it's great. It's good for the industry. I'm happy. But for me personally, Sony winning in sales isn't the deciding factor on what I like. And it shouldn't be the deciding factor on what anybody likes. At the end of the day, it's what these companies are doing. And if you just look at what Xbox is doing compared to Sony, Xbox is way more for the player, quote unquote. They give us the most powerful console like we asked for. I know it was late, but hey, better late than never. We asked them for more studios. They bought more studios. They're making more games. They given us deals like Game Pass. They give us the ability to gift games. Thank God. Because Mooch, how many times have we mooched games through that? Right? All the time. Yeah.
But they're not listening, crap, because what we need to do, okay, if anybody from Xbox
oh my God, pre-gifting.
is I want pre-gifting. Names will remain nameless, but I've got an outstanding Mooch Maniac who says, I am dying to get you Fallout 76, but I got to wait till it comes out, and I can't play the beta. Where's Mikey Brown when you need him? You need to know the pre-gift.
That's too much.
Now listen, Kay, I'm going to sell you on it real quick.
Okay.
Kay,
details override that.
I want to make my point, but hurry up.
Let's just say I was going to give you a gift, okay? Let's say I was going to gift you Halo Infinite, okay?
Okay.
Why can't I pay for that now and give it to you? You know how excited you would be for the next 12 to 18 months? Be like, my boy Mooch is giving me a gift.
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if you want to mooch, yes, mooch and kamooch. You know what I'm saying? Mega one. Yes, do it, Mikey Barra. Got it. Yes, but I just wanted to touch on what you guys were talking about on the sense of the Xbox One X. I've said this on GRG a million times, is that the Xbox One X is future proof for a number of reasons. If the rumors are true about the PlayStation 4 is supposed to be coming out, which I don't think it is. I think it's going to come out in 2020. But if it does come out in 2019. Just like any launch titled games, those games are going to look substantially better than anything that's out right now. And the X is going to be comparable to almost match for being out for a couple of years for anything that the PlayStation 5 is going to bring out at that point in time. Also, if you drop the price, which I totally agree with you, Mooch, if they drop the price, the one thing why PlayStation always wins November by a thread, it's because they drop those deals and they're already throwing those hints out, like we're going to go ahead and we're going to $199
Spider-Man. Geez.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that Microsoft needs to go ahead and nip it in the bud and attack and give the same type of message of like, look, we're here to win this MPD. If it's that much important to them, because for me, I don't give a damn about the MPDs, but to have that win in November on Black Friday would be a lot of momentum coming with the XO event, knowing that PlayStation doesn't have any games coming out of any significance except for the multiplats, and you just now having everybody realize that the Xbox One X is a behemoth, then that is a win-win for them going into 2019.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, you're 100% right, actually. I mean, look, here's the thing. Last year, Microsoft was beating them around the holidays, and then Sony came out what was like 2 weeks or a week before Microsoft cut their price, and they ended up beating. Like, I think to Sony, that NPD means everything, right? They live and die by that. They really, really care about that because their fans really, really care about that. To Microsoft's credit, they've done a good job of sort of changing things around so that people don't really, some people don't really care about as much about that stuff. You know, and I get why, like, it's hard to change, right? So we're used to having those kind of things always there to go, well, ours better, yours is better. And now there's like, you know, Microsoft doesn't announce any numbers whatsoever. So you got a lot of people guessing and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. And that's realistically all you can do with it. There's no hard numbers. VG charts is completely made up and fake. You know, they just pull their numbers out of thin air. And you know, so people naturally want to gravitate towards something. Right now, Sony guys, they're big heavy hitters, they're bangers, as people like to call them, are done. Right, like their next one doesn't even look great. That day's gone, and then nothing else really has a release year, let alone date.
Hold on, Medieval. What are you talking about, man?
Medieval. Oh, nobody wants those kiddie games, dude. People want
that. Looks like Sea of Thieves. How did they want that? That's supposed to be trash.
You know, in the chat, somebody said it's going to outsell Spider-Man. They put it in the chat right there. I swear,
bruh, stop it. And you know what, Mooch? The more I'm thinking about it, you know what? Damn it, that sounds really good. I want some pre-orders, Mikey Brower.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Kay.
I need it in my life. Go ahead.
Yes, I've been promoting this shit every week. Why not, man? Hashtag mooching ain't easy.
It's not. It's really, it's not.
Let me tell you something. People go, oh, Mooch, you get that game. You get that game. You don't know the work I put in. Listen, I'll tell you right now. No, realistically, yeah, I don't know, crap. I think that the reason that Sony has to hold on to this, you guys don't understand. Sony's holding on to this because they've lost the power crown, right? So, and it's 2 years till new consoles release. And realistically, we've talked about this, and I don't know if you want the show to go down this path, but Microsoft for next generation, seemingly on paper. So all you guys that are Sony fans in the chat, don't freak out. I'm saying on paper, it seems like Microsoft has a leg forward on next generation on the technology front, as far as cloud and this and that and everything else and streaming. You can see they have their own streaming. So they have Mixer. They've got the things are just in place. They're looking to take over next generation. And listen, not only has Jez said it, but multiple people I know have said it. Microsoft is not going to relinquish the power crown. Now, what does that mean? I don't think it means as much as it does between the X and the Pro, but there's still going to be some sort of a gap, and Microsoft wants that edge. That being said, I'm not saying Sony's not going to fight for it, but the reason Sony cares about the NPD is right now, crap, that is their number one marketing scheme, is we have the most consoles in the world. And when people legitimately, look, you can still see it with console sales of game sales of Red Dead Redemption. 68% are still buying it on the PS4. Listen, and Noof Nukem's here. Noof's a big hockey fan. Noof will tell you this. I played hockey for a while. Realistically, more shots on goal, better chance of getting a goal. That's what any coach will tell you in hockey, right? You look at shots on goal is a major stat in the NHL, okay? The reason, so basically when you have 89 or 90 million consoles out there, you're going to get more support, more software purchases, et cetera, on your console. So that's why I said from now moving forward, Microsoft's done everything right. Now, I don't know. I'm not telling Microsoft they need to come down to $349.99. I don't know if they can do that financially. I'm not in this position to say that unless I saw their books. But realistically, what they need to do is they need to get more butts in the seats, more shots on goal, more consoles in the home, however you want to put it, so that they can get more of the people buying their software, even buying third marketing deals on their software, on their hardware, pardon me, so that they can get more butts in the seats. Yeah. And Sony is holding on to that as like grim death crap. And that's why the NPD means so much to them.
But but the other thing that the average consumer does not realize, okay, some of us hardcore guys perhaps do, but the average consumer does not realize one thing. They don't realize that all the consoles in the world doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, again, Mooch summed it up. The more consoles you have, it means the better chance of return, the chance you're going to sell more games, you're going to get more DLC, you're going to get more microtransaction numbers, right? But so the sales itself, I mean, I used to work in retail, and I can tell you, as a person who sold PCs and laptops in retail, the margin on a PC was very, very slim. We didn't make much money by selling you the computer. We made the money by selling you an extra mouse or webcam or whatever it might be, all the accessories. You buy a tablet, tablets, you don't make much money. You make it by selling a case or a stylus or a freaking pair of headphones. This is where it's at, people. People don't realize that. Even, so that is the thing. That's why do you think Microsoft, the Xbox controllers and PlayStation 4 controllers are astronomically priced compared to the old days, right? Or Nintendo Switch's controllers, right? Because that's the margin. They know the average consumer's got to buy an extra controller, right? Most of us do. You buy a console, you get the extra controller. If you got a Switch, you damn well probably going to get a Pro controller. You're probably going to pick up an extra.
If you've got any kind of hands, like
that's what the margin is. And people don't seem to get that you can brag about all the consoles in the homes that you want, but at the end of the day, it's selling games. And you know what, Mooch, you've alluded to this before, perhaps yourself. I know I got lots of friends who got a PS4, but you know what? I walk into their house and see how many games they got, and guess what, dudes? They got like 5. They got like hockey. They got Madden. They got a Call of Duty game, and that's it. And here I am with an Xbox and a PlayStation, and I got games coming out the yazoo. Now, like, we're pushing the industry, not the average chump that just buys it to play as one little friggin' stupid-ass game, whatever. How many
PlayStation View?
Fortnite. How many people are buying one just to play that one stupid-ass game?
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Here's the thing, Noof. Like, I bought a PlayStation 4 to play like Uncharted and stuff like that. So I use it for exclusives. I use it for VR. That's the point that I use PS4 for. Xbot, he got rid of his PlayStation 4 because there's no other games that interest him after Spider-Man.
Once I played Spider-Man and I realized what that game was, and I still to this day have no clue how that game got the reviews that it got, because I am a huge Spider-Man fan. And at the end of the day, the game was meh. Like,
word? I didn't know that. Oh, jeez. Do tell.
Okay. It was okay. Like,
I am shocked right now that Bot is saying this.
I'm like I said, I am a huge.
It is spooky. Oh my God, Crap, you're right. This is scary episode.
Right now, I have more interest in Red Dead Redemption 2 than I did with Spider-Man after I played it.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
That's saying.
I mean, I played the shit out of I got about 45, 50 hours of this fucking Spider. I'm like 2 trophies away from platinum. God damn you!
I mean, angel right on your shoulder, man.
Listen. Here's
was
my
breathing
thing.
and eating that game for a while.
I played it quite a bit. Like, I'll be honest with you. So Spider-Man for me, and Xbox saying that is absolutely, everybody should be like wowed and floored off of it, because Xbox was actually looking forward to that game.
Yeah, more than me.
And more than I was.
Yeah.
I thought
the game,
that game was more than I thought, but still what I thought. You know what I mean? It really was. Listen, and there's no joke. It wasn't an achievement, but a lot of the in-game, they're not achievements, but in-game, like, reachable, like, things to do is like swinging around. I mean, I swung around for fucking hours, and I mean, it's just, and you go rooftop to rooftop and you fight people. And if you go back and listen to the jokes, when it was swing to the left, swing to the right, that's what it is. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I mean, I did like the game. I got to say, I thought the game had an interesting dynamic. I thought that Insomniac really perfected the swinging. But in the long haul, it really was a lot of tedious tasks. That's what the game was, and rooftop fights.
Build up. I mean, like, you were going from point to point. It was just a bunch of henchmen, like, for 80% of the game, and then all of a sudden, like, the shit hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
And then the side quests, they could have done so much more. You could have like investigated something on the side that led to another villain. A startup villain, a secondary villain, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But what they had you doing was swinging through pollution and catching pigeons. Like, I'm what?
That was the first one that I did. That first pollution one, swing through the pollution clouds, and I did that, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do any more of those. And also I was every time you go in there to the workshop, and you had to you got to run you got to do the little puzzles, right? And then somebody's like, oh, you don't have to do those. I wish I would have known that earlier, but then I disabled those. I was like, hey, I'm just skipping all those. I literally skipped all those. I do not care about puzzles. I was like, hey, get me out of here. I couldn't. I did a beeline. I wanted to finish that game as fast as I could so I could get onto Tomb Raider, since that was a much better game in my opinion. Much better.
Tomb Raider's so good. So good. Love Tomb Raider.
Assassin's Creed and Red Dead Redemption, and those are 2 games. Shout out to the community. I thought I wasn't going to play. I wasn't going to throw down the money, but the community, they sent me like codes for these games, and they got me to get into them. And I got to say, Assassin's Creed, the stories are crazy, like intriguing. You really get involved in the world. Red Dead Redemption 2, for what it is, being a cowboy thing, there is so much to get into and do. And when it came to Spider-Man, it just was really like a game just on the surface. You couldn't dive into it, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I want to talk a little bit about the Xbox games with gold. Kind of good to see it back on track a little bit. Mooch's favorite game, Battlefield 1.
Yeah, finally, Mooch is gonna join me after all these years.
Finally gonna
let's get on there and
get shot by a blimp.
Finally gonna own my own crop duster.
Hey, I gotta say this. That game is fun. I don't think I put like a whole crap ton of time into it, but I did put.
Sure didn't.
I put some time into it.
I'm not busting your balls, crap. I'll be honest with you. Not many people did.
Hold on. I think I did put 40 or 50 hours into it. I realized that's not like I realize that's not like as much.
I feel the same way about
right.
Destiny. I feel the same way about
to its credit. Hey, to its credit. Oh, me too, K-Mega. Me too. That was the worst game. That was an omen. I bought that game, and then I had a hurricane hit, and then
how you guys like to get run over by an Arabian horse, sniped 50 miles away, and die from a crop duster?
It's the same reason why you want to get shot by an overgrown grunt. I just don't know.
It's not an overgrown grunt. I'm my team. I got my team.
Hold on, but let me say this. That is a good game to give away free. It kind of works.
It is a good giveaway.
And like Tim said, the premium pass is free right now, so you get everything.
Yeah, exactly. You can download the premium pass. Also, Race to Sun, Assassin's Creed from the 360, which by the way is 4K enhanced, and Dante's Inferno. That's a really good lineup. Like Fox, why don't you sell somebody on Battlefield 1 if they haven't played that game yet? Because
that's not easy.
No, it's not.
Because it's World War One, and it's kind of like really tough. So I mean, okay, so
wait till World War II comes out. That'll be easy. Go ahead.
Oh well, it has way better guns, and
way better
mechanics and features. So I think I can sell somebody on Battlefield 5 way more than I can Battlefield 1, because it took me a while to get like used to that game, to fall in love with that game. So I think the maps are amazing, the vehicles are awesome, but yeah, the weapons are where it's lacking, because not for once have I said that Battlefield 1 is better than the previous Battlefields, but I do enjoy it because it looks amazing and it plays really good, just like all the other Battlefields. But yeah, if you care about the weapons and stuff like that, you gotta try out a little bit of everything to find your favorite one.
Foxy, unless the beginning of Battlefield 5 starts out with somebody hops in a DeLorean, grabs a sports almanac, and then comes back into World War II with some new guns. There's really not that much of a difference between World War I and World War II guns. I'm telling you right now.
There is actually a big difference. I mean,
I wouldn't use the word big. I'd use the word difference. There is a difference.
There are some more enhanced weapons. Of course, the fact that the game itself, it runs a lot smoother than the first one, and that was even through the beta. Like, I've never been a recon guy, and I love the recon. I've maxed out on that beta on using the sniper rifle. So it has, I'm more of a fan of Hardline. I know people are going to say, "Oh my god," but yeah,
I like the campaign in Hardline.
The multiplayer, once they got it right, it was so smooth, and that's what Battlefield 5 reminds me of, is that smoothness of the game. Plus the fact that it's just Battlefield, all the chaos going on.
Yeah, and it has way better features and more destruction like it used to back in the Bad Company days.
Yes.
So this is what I see the difference between, say, like regular weapons in Battlefield 1 and then Battlefield 5 having a lot different. That's like you running to your kitchen. In Battlefield 1, you grab a butter knife. And then in Battlefield 5, you're like, oh my God, upgrade. And somebody like, give me something else. And they hand you a steak knife. It's not that much different.
The story mode, Mooch, in Battlefield 1 is absolutely amazing. All those different stories are really, really good.
Listen, we're getting off. K-Mega, I'm not going to argue with that. That may be the truth. That may be fact. I'm talking about the weapons.
The weapons in Battlefield 1 are very limited. I mean, Foxfire is absolutely right. That's the major drawback to that.
Yeah.
To that game.
But I think Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5, the weapons is going from a butter knife to a steak knife.
No. The weapons.
One's got ridges and one don't.
No, you can call in for care packages. You could drop a damn missile on somebody in Battlefield 5.
Yeah, and you can customize the weapons as opposed to like the one where it's like limited. You can let you do 1 or 2 things to tweak the weapon, and the new one, not only can you customize it with looks and completely make it look differently, but then it has upgrades for your weapon shoots differently.
Yeah,
So it's better long range as opposed to short range and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. And Alex 1324 in the chat, he's Alexa, he's saying to me like, Mooch, you're wrong. The weapons are totally different. You guys are misunderstanding. I'm not saying there's no difference. If there was no difference, there wouldn't be a new game. There's a difference. What I'm saying is it's not enough of a difference. Yes, there is a difference. But telling me that I can call in a care package, we've been doing that since Call of Duty 2007.
It's a lot. It's a lot more significant than
it probably is. But
you gotta boot that game up and play it with some people you know, Mooch. You probably would.
You'll enjoy it.
It's just like going from a regular condom to a rib condom, okay?
Thank you.
But when you play Battlefield from COD, you coming from just regular to a Magnum. So that's the one thing. So you understand,
I gotta go.
Only big boys play Battlefield now. That's
well, here with Battlefield 1, what you're getting as a game with gold, you're getting a free game that is a complete online experience. You know what I'm saying? I mean, free 99 is a great price, to get into a game, download it and at least try it out. If it has like Fox's attention and she's a fan of it, I think everybody out there in the community, if you haven't tried it yet, you definitely should.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be
a new sales pitch. I didn't hear that in the Battlefield 5.
That's why they should hire me, man.
You guys should check out Lady Foxfire's channel. She loves it. You'll love it.
She loves it. You'll love it. Guaranteed. She's not just the owner. She's also
also the president.
Yes, she's the president.
No, shout out to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man he said to me that we will put in some serious time with this game, and we are going to. He's going to take me through the Battlefield ropes and tell me exactly what I've missed over the years, and then we'll regroup and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to play Battlefield 5, guys. I'm not ignoring it.
Send the invite.
Yeah, me and K-Meg are going to be there.
Yeah, I think you two might be the 2 perfect candidates to join us. Absolutely.
Hey, man, I want to be in. I want to be. Hey,
listen to crap. Like, I'm outside. It's cold out here.
It is a burr.
If I join you guys, you can find me in the tank. I'm always in the tank.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Every time I'm in the tank in Battlefield 1, it's the one that has no window and no gun.
I mean, last time we played Xbox, it was
I gotta be honest. Mooch has the worst luck. I think the one time that I played Battlefield 1 with him, he kept getting sniped. It was that big open map.
Yes,
he kept seeing that little glint, and then you're dead.
Glint.
Yeah, and then you're dead.
If it's that desert map, then yes, a lot of people do that in that map.
Yeah, but the funny thing is there's so many other maps and stuff that are a lot of fun in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of different guns.
It's a forest map. It reminds me of Star Wars.
What's the release date for this?
I forgot what it was. For Battlefield 5 or for
November 20th. November 20th.
November 20th. Yeah.
All
right, because I'll tell you now, crap. I'm almost positive it's not on that massive list of topics you gave us. But I'll tell you right now, I'm going all in on it. I know no one wants to join me, but I'm going to play Fallout 76. I like it. I don't know. For some reason, I think it looks great.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of people trying.
I want to play it, but look, man, I'm strapped, man. I bought too many games now.
I hear you.
I want to play Darksiders 3, but I'm just
that's the one I want to pass on. That's going to be $19.99 by January 3rd.
I want to play them too, but no, man.
You can bank on that.
Get this version of
Crap knows it too. Crap's like, I got a
version of that, the $100 version of Forza, the $100 version of what's her name? Laura Croft got
the Croft edition. Awesome.
Got the what you call it version, got the the deluxe version of Soul Calibur. Look, bro.
He's going all in.
Your time.
K Mega likes the fighters like nobody else, man. Like if you ever want to know something about a
Soul
fighter,
Calibur is beautiful.
Oh yeah, I want to get that.
How are the
beautiful.
achievements on that,
I gotta wait.
K-Mega? Because a lot of times
They're
they
pretty
put
easy.
them- Are they?
They're pretty
Because a
easy.
lot of times,
Yeah.
dude, like I see sometimes there'll be a fighter on sale, and I'll look at the achievement list, and it's like do a backflip with every single character, and then do a front flip, and then have a cigarette, and then like balance on one arm.
I heard if you put the controller on the ground and kick it against the wall, it's a 50-point achievement.
Man.
I heard that too,
Yeah.
dude. I saw that sort of reminds me of Red Dead 2, right? I'm not liking that I put probably 15 hours, 20 hours, and I hardly have any gamer score in it. And I seen someone was like 60% done and had like 100 gamer score.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell do you got to do to get gamer
Gadang's
score
in the chat. Gadang's got like 650 hours into it already.
How much gamer score does he have?
I don't know.
And what
Gadang,
game?
how much game on Red Dead 2?
Hours in Red Dead. I think he's got like 6. No, I think it's not that many, but he's got like 75 hours or something like that.
Damn.
But
Oh,
so
man.
Kay, listen, I haven't got a chance to talk to you in a minute. Like the reason that I loved fighting games as a kid. I think it was probably like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were two of my favorite games that I would play just on the regular. That was the game that was my go-to games.
Mhm.
The reason I don't do that no more, and Kay, I think you'll appreciate my story, is because those games meant so much to me because I used to play. That was traditional couch co-op. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. Absolutely.
We had all of our friends lined up at the house, all chilling, waiting, everybody kind of bullshitting, whether they were trading baseball cards, hanging out on the side, and people would wait. Whoever lost the round, that's who would get to come up and play next. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a lot of bullshit, a lot of shit talk, a lot of punching people in the arm, being like, you suck, you know what I mean? And like, to me personally, to play against somebody who's like 8 states over to the left or something like that, and like, or even to play Crap. Like me and Crap did that whole tournament thing with Mortal Kombat, and like I beat Crap, and it was like I wasn't shit talking Crap or couldn't punch him in the arm.
Here's the thing, right?
Like to me personally, these fighting games are just button mashers.
Here's the thing.
Point.
I have to admit this, right? So they set up that tournament we were playing, and that was that one where Bam lost to Zaire when Zaire came back on him, and then Bam disappeared for like 2 weeks or something.
He
right?
did.
He did.
A month.
Yeah,
he pulled like a Henry Hill. He just disappeared.
he did. Like he was.
Come to the end zone, especially with me in 100 and Livewire, he would get his ass annihilated. So he stayed away.
I played here's the thing. It's like it was the best of 7 or something. I beat Mooch the first round.
Yeah.
I got so tired. My hands got so tired and cramped that first round when I lost every single one after that. I just couldn't push the buttons fast. I'm like, good lord. And you always hear people just button pushing as fast as they can.
Me and K-Mega went at it at that tournament. Man.
Yeah, we went at it.
We went down to the wire.
Yeah.
Yo. That
Every
was
match went down to the wire.
Somebody's playing it right now.
I'm playing Full Caliber, guys.
Yes. Yes, pick up the sticks. See what the one thing about it that I love about it, even though I totally agree with you, Mooch, that the one thing about that's why it took me so long to get acclimated to the online aspect of gaming.
Yeah.
Is because I was doing so much of the co-op. I had homeboys come over all the time, and we would just sit back and just play like that. So when I finally got into it, that's why, like, when I'm in the parties with 100, shout out to him, Intro Media Gaming, and just with Bam and Kaleidoscope and just anybody else that's hanging around, the Don, we get together and we'll talk trash to one another, and then we'll just jump in, and maybe some listeners will jump in.
I've been in there.
And and
I saw them playing Dragon Ball Z.
And we talk the biggest shit, and it reminds me, it gets the spirit back.
It gets the blood rush.
Oh yeah, because. Right. So maybe that's what you have to do is instead of playing a random, because it's not the same when you're playing a random because you don't know.
Or one-on-one. You have to have a group of friends in the party. That's how I've done it too. I played against my friends. Was it Game Down, Dave, Tim, Squirmo. Like we all played against each other while we're all chatting. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And then everybody gets, and then people take it personal. I know I get mad. I don't like to lose. So
same here.
So it is what it is. But it's a lot of fun though.
Elemento Pino says, "What's the next genre for Rockstar to tackle?" I think it's Bully 2 for some reason.
Yeah.
I think that game's not going to take nearly as long to develop.
I think he's talking about like something new because they already did kind of like crime waves with GTA. Bully, you're in school dealing with the whole bully situation. Of course, Rockstar, they got Cowboys. I would say go medieval. Down the road somewhere. I think with how
medieval.
they do Yeah, like knights and stuff like that. Have an interesting story that kind of goes to the underbelly
That's not their style, but
He
I
says-
think they can do it, man.
He says he's thinking sci-fi. That's what he said.
Ah.
I don't know, dude. They have GTA, they have Red Dead, they have Bully. They've got some of these games. I just don't know if they'll do a
LA
new IP
Noire?
anytime. Yeah, LA
LA
well,
North.
LA
That'll probably
Noire.
be the next one. Yeah.
That, but they didn't make that.
Mafia?
Team Bondi made that, and they published it.
Oh, they published.
What-
Okay.
Yeah, that
What
was a
about
super
Mafia
good
3?
game, though. Mafia, that's that Hangar 7 or whatever that is that did that, which was a
Okay.
That's
great
two-
game.
2K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2K
2K published it,
Yeah,
but
2K
it was like
published it.
Hangar 7 were the developers, and that was a really good game as well. Probably.
What about
one of the-
Midnight Club? Crap.
Yeah, they made Midnight Club. They did.
I mean, that's the only
Wow,
genre
where's
that I
Seven?
can think of. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
Backwards compat.
Forza has really taken over the racing space, so genre, I should say. So, who else better to give Forza that turn 10 playground games a true sense of competition than to Rockstar?
They would have to
Midnight
build
Club.
a new dev team up again, though, because
They
that
got
team,
the money and the resources
they
to do it.
Are you sure?
Well,
I hear
yeah.
they got a couple dollars.
Yeah, that's what I'm
lying
saying.
around.
So yeah. I mean, that's the only, because I mean,
I
look,
miss Midnight
EA
Club, man.
I do too, and EA is a shell of itself. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing of what it used to be. The crew.
Yeah, it was
I
sad
had
for
hope
Need
for the
for
crew
Speed.
too. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't bought it because people that I gift the game to people and they didn't even play it that long. So it's like there's really no competition in the you know what I'm saying. GT is a shell of itself. So the only people that really seems to give a damn is the racing game that's on a PC. I can't pronounce that name. I'm just let me be country. I'm not even gonna try. And then then you got the Dirt series, and the Dirt series is solid, but it's still not on the same scale.
Yeah. Hey, hit that like button, guys. I'd appreciate it. So also the PlayStation Plus games were announced today as well. You're getting Yakuza Kiwami and Bulletstorm. Hey, that's looks what it looks like.
Dude, it sounds like Japanese might be your
let
second
crap be
language.
country.
Crap.
hold on. It's
Let crap be country on that
Yakuza
one.
Kiwami.
Mm.
There we go.
Yakuza Kiwami.
There
Let
we
crap
go.
be country on that
And
one.
Bulletstorm full clip edition. That's actually not a bad. That's not a bad lineup either. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I think both of them have pretty good lineups. Mooch, which ones are you more interested in here?
Well, the bullet one, whatever, Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm.
Even that one doesn't really.
Dude, they've sold that on Xbox, which it's
Yeah.
enhanced, I think, for $5 already.
$5,
So
yeah.
you can
super
even
cheap.
play. You can play as Noof Nukem or not Noof Nukem, but
Duke Nukem. If it was Duke Nukem, I would have been playing the shit out of
If it was Cletus, I would have bought that game.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, get on there. Now we can get some DLC up in there.
Hey,
I
it's not
think
bad.
Xbox. I think Xbox wins next month on the games. Just with Battlefield 1 being at least a AAA game.
Dante-
Oh, he's gonna be on
man.
it. Which is gonna be
Yeah.
playing it.
Oh, well,
Can't
I'm gonna
wait.
download it. But,
Hey,
and
Mooch, you should play
Assassin's
it.
Creed also.
Hey, we can play.
Yeah.
We could play the which, by the way, looks great in 4K. It's like a
Yeah.
free remaster. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Uh,
I think Xbox wins it on that one. But
yeah, Dante's Inferno too. Like I have never played that game. I think I
can't
owned it,
wait. Yeah,
but I never
haven't-
played it.
I haven't played it,
It's
and
really
I
good.
always
Yeah.
wanted to. So
I
now
have
I'll be
not
able to
played it
get
either.
in there.
It rivals
Yeah.
God of War, the old
Yeah,
God of War.
that's what I hear
Yeah.
too. I heard it's pretty sick. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I played one of the Yakuzas on PS4. I wasn't really a big fan, but this one might be one of the newer ones, so I'm gonna try and give that one a go as well. I think it's
Yes.
Bulletstorm. I have that on Xbox as well, so I really liked Bulletstorm when it came out on the 360. I remember it sold so much better on the 360 because Epic Games published it and they included the Gears 3 beta with it.
I was all
So-
over that.
I was too. I bought 2 copies, one for me, one for Hellhammer, so we could both play the beta. And man, that was so much fun. I just remember having a lot of fun. You can play Checkout, and when the full game came out, we already knew like a few of the maps that were in the beta, so we did much better. And it was just such a good time, And that game was so different than anything else. It's like kill with skill. The only thing that game was missing was like a true multiplayer where people could like play against each other. Same knock that Sunset Overdrive had, right? You could do like the co-op thing, which you could do in
Yeah.
Bulletstorm, but they had no verses. Like you need that team deathmatch. You need something like that. And I think that's what that show missed. But yeah, good month for both Xbox and PlayStation. If you're, if you have both, then I think that's going to be that's pretty sweet, man. I'm really excited about that. But speaking of EA, they announced in their earnings call that Respawn Entertainment is going to have multiple games ready for next year. Looks like that Star Wars game and probably Titanfall 3. Mooch, I know you're a big Titanfall fan.
Yeah.
What are your hopes? What are your Here's the thing. Here's my hope for it, right? I hope Titanfall 3 has the multiplayer, go back to the Titanfall 1 formula, and then have a kick-ass campaign like
Hell
Titanfall 2 had, and that would be like the perfect game. Like, I don't understand why they deviated from that. I have no idea.
As long as Titanfall 1 stays the way, bring Titanfall 3 back to Titanfall 1 multiplayer. I don't care what they do with the single player. That game was just not built that way. It was built to be a multiplayer only game. You guys were all happy with the single player game. I personally, I don't know why everybody was such a fuss about the single player game. I
loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was
great.
Really
it was like
cool.
an episode of Lassie.
Slow.
It was like an episode of Lassie.
Yeah, it was slow for me, and then it picked up once you got into probably the middle part of the story, and then I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, that was
Where's
like
your Titan? Where is he? He's in a well, Lassie. Go get him!
Oh, man. No, listen. Like you had feelings for him. They're almost like Transformers or something, man. I loved it. I thought it was so good. What
you loved and the way you describe it, Crap, and I can't take that away from you, but what you loved so much was about 15 minutes of that campaign.
Mooch, that campaign was so good, I never finished it, man. That's
right.
Come on. Foxy, you beat it, right?
Jump to the right.
Yeah, I played it for the Achievos, and I thought the story was okay.
Thank you.
Wow, here I am on an island by myself.
We'll set you free.
Dressed up. Hey, Def Jam Bam's here. He missed it earlier. We were talking about him when he took his month vacation after he lost to Zaire.
Damn, bringing back old memories. He probably blocked that out.
Typical Def Jam Bam, waking up at 12:30, then Def Jam Bam. Def Jam, when are we playing video games again, man? I cannot find. I've been playing with
everybody.
nephew.
Hit that one. Hit that one.
Hit that one.
Let's go, Def Jam. We gotta play it, man. Yo, Bam's one of the best people to play video games with. But
he is, man.
Oh, I love playing Gears with him. Definitely.
Not in Tekken though. He gets his ass beat.
Man, that's bad. I remember one time watching Zaire and K Mega playing Tekken, and I think K Mega whooped him.
Ass.
He whooped him so bad. It was so funny. I was watching that on stream too. It was hilarious because Zaire was making up all kinds of excuses, like, "Oh man, my hand this, and I wasn't ready."
So he didn't like the graphics. That's what it was.
He didn't like the graphics. So.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
I'm sorry, people. I think that's what drove him to be a pony. I think that's what made him get the pony prayer package. I beat him so bad at Tekken. Much love to Z, man.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. It's funny as hell. But I do think this is cool, and the Star Wars game sounds good. They're probably not going to release these games close to each other, so that might mean one of them might release early. Now, Titanfall 1 launched, I think, in March of 2014, and then they released Titanfall 2 at the end of the year when it got just eaten up by Call of Duty and Battlefield. Whoever decided to release that game at the same time pretty much as Battlefield and Call of Duty was crazy. But also they ruined the I don't know how many of you guys played that multiplayer in Titanfall 2 where it was this weird menu when you were trying to play multiplayer where you had to.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, you had to have a tag, and then when you saw the thing come up, you had to accept it. I don't know if they even ever fixed that. Yeah, but it was just so bad. It was like, don't make your game so difficult, why
would you do that?
Yeah, look, Call of Duty gets it, Battlefield gets it, Halo gets it, Gears gets it.
Titanfall got it. Vince Apollo apparently went on peyote for a couple of years.
Yeah, I do not understand that at all.
Something's still wrong with him. Did you see him at the latest EA conference? He looked like he was on Quaaludes.
Well, I mean,
he's sitting in the front seat next to Andrew Renee, and he's like, yes! He's like, are you going to come out with a game? Tell us about it. yes.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, back to you, whoever, because Vince is fucked up. Vince he didn't look right. I'm like, what's
that
wrong
was
with
one of the
Vince?
worst parts. It was really bad.
We're talking about the
Well,
word
hey,
creep.
that whole EA thing was kind of bad looking back on it, but hey, I'm excited for them to come out with a couple new games next year. Hey, look, I like Star Wars, and we have been getting new Star Wars movies. Most of them have been kind of a mixed bag, but you would figure that we'd be getting more Star Wars games, right? And so I'm excited to get one that's actually has a chance to be good.
I'm gonna blame Disney on that because they gave it to EA only. They should have gave it to multiple developers or whatever for them to do whenever they were ready. So we would have got multiple games from different people. But now we're just stuck waiting for EA to move their ass, and all they do is close studios. So I don't know what's happening.
I blame Disney, but not for the same reason, Foxy. Since Disney's taken over Star Wars, my God. I mean, every goddamn month is a Star Wars movie, a Star Wars game.
Hold on.
It has gone downhill. Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I gotta say to that, right? I like
saturation.
Star Wars. I liked Episode 7. I liked Rogue One. I even liked Solo. It was The Last Jedi that ruined it. Now, second part to that is they're able, like, Star Wars has this big lore that they should be exploring, and it looks like they might do that. They have all this stuff that they should be doing.
I don't know. They just canceled the Boba Fett movie they were gonna do.
Well, who wants to see? Yeah, who wants to see Boba Fett? Because they're making a TV show.
Well, yeah, but that's going to be about the bounty hunters, not exactly, not specifically that one character, and that's one of my brother's favorite character.
Like apparently they put on hold the Obi-Wan movie. I would have liked to seen Ewan McGregor be Obi-Wan again.
That I'm into. Yeah,
exactly right. Like that's the one they should have made, and not some of this other.
Not Rogue One, not Solo. Make Obi-Wan done.
Yeah, because you already had someone that was accepted by people, and we want to
know. We want to know about that character.
It's really disappointing when you see Disney doing like amazing things for Marvel or with Marvel. Obviously, Marvel Studios is running that, but they're letting them do that, and it's a strong storyline with all the movies tied in. And then you see Star Wars, and it's kind of like, what's happening?
Star Wars like a redheaded stepchild.
What's happening here? It's trash.
It ain't right either. You know what I mean? Because look, they come out with 4. I know people go, "Oh, there's too many movies because they're coming out with 1 a year." I'm like, man, they come out with like 4 Marvel movies a year, and there's all the Netflix shows, and they're doing even more shows when they have their own streaming service next year.
Numbers may be on your side there, and I'm not sure because I'd have to tally them up, but it still feels like Star Wars is saturated and Marvel's not. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
Here's the thing: it's because
Luke Cage got canceled. Damn you bastards!
Damn it, man.
Hey, him and Iron Fist got canceled.
Well, nobody cares about Iron Fist.
Yeah, nobody cared about Iron Fist, but Luke Cage, that was news right there.
Jessica Jones is on notice.
Well, they're finishing filming, so that's going to actually have another season. So back off my girl, though.
Steven Spielberg is still making that Halo TV series. Maybe they get Michael Coulter to get back in there as Locke. What do you think, K-Man?
Hashtag save Locke.
Locke. I don't know if they're gonna ever save Locke.
What's a Locke?
Hey, did you guys see the Medieval remake? The trailer came out today.
I think Xbot was talking about it earlier. I don't know. What's that?
Here's the thing, right? Like this was a game back on the PS1.
PlayStation doesn't want kiddie games, man. No kiddie game.
Yeah, well that was the funny part, right? Like the graphics obviously are like it looks better. Hey, actually our buddies over there, I think I interviewed the guy Mike Micah. His company's the one that did that. They're the ones that did iDarb. You know who I'm talking about, Mooch?
I know exactly who he is, yeah.
Other Ocean or whatever. So
he follows me. I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I follow. Yeah, like same, and what's funny is because they also did the remakes for the Mega Man collections and stuff like that. So they kind of specialize in that stuff. I think the game looks okay, but I'm just not sure if everybody was like dying to get a hold of Medieval. I don't even back in the day, I don't remember anybody really talking about it. It was like Tomb Raider was the game. Crash Bandicoot was the game that people were talking about. Metal Gear, Silent Hill. Nobody was talking about Medieval, in my opinion. So
not in a bad way or like whatever. If you're looking forward to it, cool. But once I saw the trailer for this or popping it up on like my Twitter feed, I was just thinking about Voodoo Vince. I was like, oh, this reminds me of Voodoo Vince. Like when that came out of nowhere, and people were like, oh shit, that's a classic. And other people were like, that looks like trash. Why nobody wants that? So I don't know. I have the same feeling with this game.
Yeah, it's like kind of who cares, right? Who cares? I I don't like
That
Moosh
was
is
great.
he's like, Moosh, what do you think about it, man? Not your
listen,
bag.
It's what you said it is. It's definitely not my bag. It looks okay. I said this when we were talking about MNC show. One of my favorite games was Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't.
One of the hardest games of all time, too.
It really was, but it was an absolute treat to play. Yeah. But if they made that again, crap, and it was a 2D scroller, and they made it look beautiful, it really wouldn't be my bag right now. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So realistically, I can't really get behind this, and I think Fox nailed it. It's their version of Voodoo Vince, and
I'm looking at it right now. It does look like Voodoo Vince.
Also, was not my bag at all.
I actually like that. I actually like.
God bless you,
Vince, man. They need to make a sequel or something when it comes to that game.
No, that's cool.
No, well, see, I'm into games like this. You guys know I like a wide range of games, so I like the cartoony, colorful games and stuff like that.
I do too. You're talking about the guy who said that Sea of Thieves was my multiplayer game of the generation.
Dude, and you're one of the few people on YouTube that'll agree with me about Viva Pinata. So we got.
I love Viva Pinatas.
I love that game, dude.
You can get pinatas that go at it and have pinata babies. I mean, come on.
Did you know you can make a pig that has wings? Like you can make a pig fly in that game.
Yeah,
God bless you guys.
Hey, things went left. I don't know.
I love that game, man. The second one I wasn't as much a fan of, but the first one was just absolutely incredible. I played the hell out of it and just thought it was amazing. So I know people are always like, "Oh, why are you on Viva Pinata? That sounds dumb." And I'm like, "No, you got to play it. It's a lot of fun." You know,
hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm into games like this. Like not every game have to have a gun in your hand, or it has to be some kind of like serious story. You can pick up a game that's really kind of like cartoony, colorful, will make you laugh, will be challenging in certain areas and stuff like that. And it's a game that like I would play. I mean, but unfortunately, I don't have my PS4, so whatever, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but speaking of not having a PS4, you get that PlayStation Mini.
No.
So that's that way though. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, check this out. So remember, they announced this thing, they put it up for pre-order. They only told you about a few of the games that were coming out, and they finally decided
games or something.
Yeah, now they finally decided to give out the list of the other games, including Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, Cool Borders 2, Oddworld, Resident Evil, Twisted Metal, and Siphon Filter. Which these are some classic games. I mean, obviously, it's missing some. I would think like Tomb Raider. But I think it's a good set of games. The problem is this thing does not have DualShock controller, and I cannot imagine playing Metal Gear and some of these other games, Resident Evil, like Twisted Metal, Siphon Filter, with just the D-pad. That seems like a bit of a hassle.
There's more than all right. The real problem here is the only game that people saw when you read that list was Siphon Filter. Let's be real. That's the only one.
Twisted Metal was good.
Well, I mean, but yeah, I went back and played Twisted Metal Black on my PS4, and I gotta say that game did not age well at all. All right.
Well, they all look like just blobs of crap.
Yeah, say a lot of these
gameplay wise
well.
too. No, but gameplay wise as well. Like it didn't feel good to play. It was like, man, I really had a lot of fun all them years ago when the game came out, but now it's just like you have so many other experiences that you went through. The industry has evolved so much that it's like that game doesn't feel like how you remember it. And I think that the only game on that list is Siphon Filter, because a lot of PlayStation gamers, what is the one game that they have been talking about that they want back on PlayStation? Siphon Filter
and SOCOM and probably a ton of other ones too.
Well,
believe it or not,
Siphon Filter, I hear a lot. Yeah.
Tomb Raider games, Gran Turismo. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot. Considering how many games came out for the PlayStation, that's a pretty narrow list of games. Like for this console to be like, I think it's like $120 Canadian.
$100, yeah, Canadian.
Man, there should be at least 60 or 70 games on. Like, why are these skimping out? What? Because Nintendo only put 20 something on the Super Nintendo. But at least like the games that came on the Super Nintendo Classic, most of those are like bangers. Like that's some of the best ones. Like to me, I was not impressed with this list. There's just way too many omissions, and if the PlayStation Classic had the ability to actually play discs, it'd be a no-brainer. I'd buy one tomorrow, but as it is, no thanks.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? Foxy, I know you're a nostalgia person.
I mean, I was so disappointed when I saw it. I kind of was already, okay, to be fair, I was already not that interested because of the price point and the fact that it was only 20 games. So yes, in that sense, I was already like, it might not happen. But if they would have showed some awesome games, then yeah, then I would have given it a shot. Maybe I would have picked it up. Or told my brother to pick it up and then I'll mooch it. You know how that is.
No, absolutely.
Yes, but with these ones, the only ones that stood out to me was Rayman, which I already have. Sci-Fi Filter was good, but I played 2 and 3 with my brothers a lot. Same thing with Twisted Metal. We played 3 and 4 a lot. So like I don't know, there's a lot of ifs and maybes there. Tekken 3 would be the one that stood out to me the most. We played that so much; it was amazing. So that was like the main nostalgia tweak right there. You know what? You know what?
What's going on?
Sorry.
You know what?
I was just working out my feet.
But yeah, besides that, there's like no interest in there for me. Not worth the amount. Yeah, I'm not going back to that. That's a no.
You know, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And listen, I get it. I get it for all you guys that have the museums in your house. And that's great.
Hey, I didn't pre-order this thing, and I'm all about the nostalgia.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I fell for it with the SNES classic.
Mini,
I'm not. I won't do that again.
I have both of those. I played them for a little bit, and then you don't play them.
Like,
I played it for 2
Mooch,
weeks.
check
That
this out,
NES.
Mooch,
that?
check this out. You said the SNES Mini. I think the more and more that you see this, the more and more I think people will see that the SNES Mini is probably going to be the best one out of the bunch. They need to stop making these now.
Yes,
they're
stop
done.
it.
Done.
Stop it. Yes.
There you go.
Good for you,
Is it-
Xbot. Absolutely.
They got that exclusive game in there. That's probably why.
Star Fox too.
Well,
Yep.
Well, no,
Yep.
what it was, Super Nintendo, that like 2D era still shines well today. The graphics still look good. You can still get immersed in it.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
played
like
a little
that,
bit of Secret of Mana on it, and I'll be honest with you, it was like you say, it's the magic's still there to a certain extent if you can if you're on the drug of nostalgia. But I mean, once like Crap said, once like Foxy said, and much like I've said, after 2 to 6 hours of playing it, you're like, oh my god, I remember that. And I also remember why I love 4K gaming. So, like, it's really, you spend $90 to $100 just to remember how great what you have in your living room really is.
Yeah, like it's funny because I posted that thing, Mooch, on Twitter. It was like a VHS Mini. Did you see it?
Yes,
and
I
it's
did.
like,
That was
it was like 20 classic games and
That was awesome.
Yeah, and
great.
240i or whatever, right? It's like
240.
yeah, it's so funny because it's like we look at these things, right? And in our minds we have this memory of them, and that's probably where most stuff should really lay. You
Just
know what I mean?
leave
Like,
it there, folks.
Very few things.
My
really
PlayStation
stand
1
out.
and 2 games are in boxes. They're not on display, Mooch. Calm down.
Yeah,
Only my
like-
Xbox games are on display and some PS4. That's it.
Yeah, I agreed 100%. Hey, Johnny says Red Dead Redemption 2 better than God of War for you. Look, I think that's a really weird. Like I would say it's better in terms of pretty much everything, but I don't even know if I'll ever finish it, if that makes sense. Like just because there's so much to do in that game and it's so detailed. God of War was just one of those games where it was pretty linear. Even though like they try to, you know what I'm talking about, Booch, right? Like it was like you could just beeline to whatever you wanted to do.
You know, the thing about God of War that's refreshing though, Crap, is, and we said this on MNC, I'll say it again, is that, you know, you do Assassin's Creed, it's 200 hours open world. You do Red Dead, it's 200 hours open world. Sometimes the God of Wars and the Uncharted's and the Gears of War, those things are welcome every once and again, and the Halos, because
Hey,
that
like
linear thing is not necessarily a bad thing.
I like being able to beat Shadow of the Tomb Raider in like 14 hours or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
As I get older, it just makes more sense. Like when I was younger, and I've told this story before, when I first played Dragon Age on the Xbox 360 when that came out, I was blown away. I got to the end, I couldn't beat it because I screwed up and I didn't have enough potions, and you couldn't really go back. So I started the game right over. So I basically put back-to-back 30+ hours into this game, and I could do that back then. You know, I mean, it doesn't sound like that long ago, but you know, times change, things change. You know, I just don't have that time to invest. I also get bored a little bit easier too. So I'll do a couple missions here or there on Red Dead, and I'm totally immersed when I'm playing it. But with God of War, I was able to I just put in like 20 some hours and just beat it, like, boom, like that. It wasn't, it was just like it was super fast paced for me, and I think that technically Red Dead is probably the better game. I'm not sure if I like it better than God of War. So yeah, I know that's probably shocking to people, right?
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I think with crap, I think the better question is which easy mode feels better to me. Like,
you know what? I don't think there is an easy mode on Red Dead, is there?
No, there isn't.
No.
There's not.
That's what it is, crap. That's why, right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it, man. That
cracked
could be
the code.
Yeah, look, I'm not having any problems. I mean, I've died a couple times on Red Dead, but it was like the bear got me. And then I didn't realize that I ran into some thugs or whatever, and they were blocking the bridge, and I was in the cinematic mode, and so my horse just runs into them and throws me off, and they start shooting at me, and I was like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And what I did was died. So yeah, like I think they're both fine games. I think Red Dead 2 will obviously win the game of the year. That game it just oozes machismo and charisma and just quality. God of War is good, but it's just not really anywhere near as good as that. So, I've gotten the infamous GIF, and so it's time to wind down. Yeah,
that's a great one.
Everybody hit that like button. We're close to 250 likes. Mooch, we can go ahead and do the outros. What do you got going on, man?
Well, crap. You're gonna have to speak for tomorrow, so I'll leave M&C up to you.
We'll probably go Sunday, to be honest with you.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we'll just go Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday morning sounds great. So then we've got Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The Mooch 78. Definitely check out Crossfire, guys. It's gonna be a great show. A lot of good special guests and a lot of topics to discuss with everybody and get the audience involved. So check that out, and it'll be a good time. 7 p.m. Eastern time, Friday.
Absolutely. And Foxy, what do you got going on?
Working on some videos. I just want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out in the chat. Halloween. Hope you guys all had some good treats. And yeah, I'm happy that I got to see Newfie and K Mega again. So it was nice. I haven't podcasted with them in a while.
Yeah, so thank you for being able to join us as well. We also got XBot448. What's going on, man? What do you got going on?
It's actually been a pretty busy week. I already on the last couple days I dropped 2 videos on my channel, which is called XBot448. So if you haven't visited yet, you haven't subscribed, you definitely want to go over there and subscribe, because every Saturday we have the next podcast. One of the panel members is here right now. My brother K Mega is in the house, and we go live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Of course, I am also on Crossfire. Like the Friday is like the beginning of my podcast weekend. I'm usually on live all weekend, various channels or whatnot. So people should probably follow me on Twitter at Xbot448.
Do you sleep in the weekends, sir?
Yeah.
Dang.
All weekend. All
No,
weekend.
man,
I'm
wow.
there.
He's got a monster in one hand, a vape in the other, and he's ready to go, man.
Yep.
And he's-
Do it.
This is
Vape
true.
Elite.
and he probably run the coils himself, right?
Yeah, I make the coils myself. Yes, I do, man.
Exactly. We got K Mega. Thank you very much for spending some time with us tonight. It was good to have you back on the show, man. What do you got going on?
Can y'all hear me?
Wow,
Uh-oh.
you sound
Where'd you
terrible.
go?
Where'd Kay go?
Yeah, your mic sounds terrible.
Can y'all hear me?
Nope.
No, we
Try
can't.
it again.
Oh no, he went into a black hole.
See, that's what happens when you play games when you're on a podcast, man.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
disappeared.
you know what? Crap, it could be because it's Halloween, though.
Oh. No, man, you're
Oh no, they got him.
well, you know what? Hey, K Mega, man, he's on his GRG stuff Friday night. I know that.
Yep.
And he does
Right
the
after
next
Crossfire.
podcast. Exactly. So make sure you guys check him out there. And Noof Nukem, what do you got going on?
Hey, man, I've got lots of things going on. Not really. But anyway, just going to go back to playing Red Dead Redemption 2, try to finish up some Spider-Man, play some Forza Horizon 4. Got lots of games on the plate right now. And plus, I just started The Evil Within 2. Mooch, by the way, thanks for your compliments on that game, because that's a big reason I picked it up. Plus, I couldn't avoid it for $6.
Awesome
Brand-
game, Noof. I'm jealous you're playing that through Halloween month. I loved it last year.
Yeah, it was last year, but yeah.
No, I'm not. No, it literally was one of the most, like, it's a highlight of last year. It was an amazing game.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And I just want to say, check out my channel and hopefully get some feedback and some love, or maybe some hate, whatever it is, for my goofing with Noof episode 1. Ran through that last night. Let me say that shit was corny. No, it was a pretty good show. I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun hanging out with the chat. That was very interactive. I think you could tell I was really into it. Definitely not an easy feat to handle a full show by yourself, but some of the guys on this panel know all too well about that. But yeah, looking forward to doing another one, and hopefully you'll see a bit more of me here in the future, guys. So have a great night, and to the chat, you guys rock. We'll catch you soon, and thanks to the panel and Crap for inviting me to come back this week.
Awesome.
No problem. K Maggie, you want to try one more time? No.
Oh,
You sound like you're on PS4 or something, man. We'll catch you guys later, man. Have a great Halloween. We'll
Peace,
talk
man.
to you later. Peace.
Bye.